Nancy Johnson. Last Friday, Nancy Johnson and her husband, Philip, took the day off to drive to Denver, Colorado. They drove across almost all of Nebraska and half of Colorado. It took them 9 hours. They spent Friday night at the Marriott Hotel. The next morning, they drove up to Aspen along endless winding roads. They had lunch there, and then Nancy took the car and drove to the house George Clooney had bought. When she got there, she saw a man with a shovel clearing a path to the front door through the snow. The man didn't notice that Nancy had arrived. As she walked up to the man along the path he had cleared, she asked him if Mr. Clooney was in. Apparently she scared him because he was so busy clearing the snow that he hadn't heard her come up to him from behind. When he turned around, he smiled and said, "Yes." Nancy stood frozen. It was George Clooney himself. She had thought the man was a gardener or someone similar. All she could manage to say was her name. Apparently, Mr. Clooney was used to this, and he smiled and invited her into the house to have a coffee. When Nancy went into the house, she immediately realized that no one had lived there for a long time. It was cold, dirty, and empty. They went into the kitchen where Mr. Clooney had an electric heater on. He poured her a coffee and one for himself, and then they sat down at an old wooden table. One of the table legs was shorter than the other three, and the table kept moving whenever either one of them leaned on it. However, Nancy didn't even realize it. She was thinking about her hair and her clothes. Mr. Clooney was wearing a pair of old blue jeans and a flannel shirt. He didn't seem to care about anything.